Hi everybody, Sean Adams from PennLive.com, and I am here at Hersheypark, and we are taking a look at the construction of the new coasters, one coaster and one racer ride that are coming to Hersheypark this summer. And I'm here with Steve McNulty. He is head of construction at Hersheypark. Steve, thanks for talking to us. I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about how the construction has been going, because you guys started in November, is that correct?
No, we started the day after Labor Day. We actually hit the ground running.
Oh, that early, okay.
Yeah, all the planning and groundwork was laid well months before we actually started after Labor Day. So we were prepared, hit the ground running, and we were lucky that we had a nice mild fall. Let us really get ahead of the curve a little bit, so when the harsh December came, we were able to, it didn't impact the schedule as much. And then it worked through the cold weather, because we have special conditions that we take care of between tenting in different areas, providing temporary heat. So
right.
So far so good.
Yeah, because you know, you have to, we can see just behind you here, there's a bunch of you know, pillars into the ground. I imagine that would be awfully difficult to do in the middle of cold winter, just digging straight down.
Well, actually what you see, that's only half of the foundation. Before the concrete piers went in, there's actually caissons that were drilled in the ground at various lengths. So the caisson guy came in, he started in around late September, early October, came in, drilled all the foundations, and then the piers followed him.
Okay.
And that's what you see sticking out of the ground.
So what were, other than cold, and I mean, you mentioned you have ways to deal with that, sort of tenting off areas to keep the ground warm, is that correct?
No, the tenting in was actually over at the, it's actually a surge tank behind you that is basically a concrete tank. We saw concrete walls, and we started doing that right as the cold weather hit.
I see.
So the concrete contractor, because he knows that we work through the winter, because that's our busy season, he was actually prepared to do that.
Okay, and so how do you guys deal with snow out here? I imagine you got quite a bit.
Snow, basically we take care of snow removal in the site area. We throw down cinders to avoid any slippery conditions, and basically just work through it. It's kind of weird. The rest of the world in the wintertime, construction slows down. At Hersheypark, we do the complete opposite. We speed up.
Okay, and you have blueprints here, I understand, for the rides. Can we take a quick look at those?
Yeah, I have a site drawing that I colored up just to depict the White Cap Racer and Breaker's Edge coaster.
And the purple one is Breaker's Edge, correct?
Correct. The White Cap Racer is the blue.
Okay, and we are directly beneath a portion of the Breaker's Edge just now. So these circles here, those are sort of turns. So is that right?
Yeah, it's just a ride element. Add a little bit to the thrill of the ride.
So you can see those correspond here to these two circular portions that we are directly underneath.
And if I would have known I was having the drawing on film, I would have my daughter do it, so I would have stayed inside the lines a little better. So just a note.
Oh, I think you did great. Cool. What was it like? Is it standard to try to build two rides at the same time?
I believe this is the first time that, I'm not exactly sure, but that ProSlide actually developed two rides like this together. But yeah, for us, it's somewhat unique to do two major attractions concurrently at the same time.
Great. And this over here is the roller soaker.
Yeah, that's the old roller soaker station, and we're actually repurposing that, and that's going to be the new Breaker Edge coaster station.
So we are here in the Boardwalk, and just in this direction, this will be where folks come through to this area where the queues will begin for both rides.
Yeah, if you go back to my drawing,
look at
we're actually standing like right here. I'm sorry, right here. We're right here, and this is the old roller soaker station. So basically, to get on the Breaker's Edge coaster, you go up the queue line, weave, and go up the steps into the station deck. And then for the White Cap Racer, follow the queue line around, and actually there's going to be somewhat of a trail that follows along the lazy river for a while, and then you'll go up the steps at the end.
Okay, so the folks get in line for the other ride will have a slightly longer walk.
Yes.
Right.
Little cardio. Low cardio.
Great. Well, thanks very much, Steve. We're going to jump over here to Scott, who is going to tell us a little bit about the actual ride experience. Hi,
there.
Scott.
How are you?
Good. How you doing?
I'm well, thank you.
And what is your position at Hersheypark?
I'm the manager of attractions here at the park.
Okay, so you can tell us a little bit about what it will be like to actually ride the Breaker's Edge and Whitecap Racer.
Yeah, absolutely. We can give it a shot.
Okay, so let's start with we're beneath the Breaker's Edge at the moment.
Absolutely. So the Breaker's Edge is a water coaster, and it will mimic a lot of actions of a traditional roller coaster, but instead of being on rails and rolling, you'll be in an inflated tube.
Okay.
So it'll start with a ride-up conveyor. So the raft will attach to a ride-up conveyor.
Just back this direction?
It's actually not installed yet, so it'll actually be attached to the front of the building, and you'll ride up a conveyor.
Okay, so it'll be in that area and then go that direction.
Correct. And at the top of the hill, you'll drop off and you'll go down a water slide, like a traditional fiberglass flume with water flowing in it. But when you get to the bottom, we use linear induction technology, which is magnetics, and using those magnetics, it'll propel the raft in the upward sections.
Really?
So the water slide has ups and downs, and then obviously the quick turns, which are the flying saucers that are above us.
He's here.
Yeah, so you'll go through those turns and into additional drop sections and blast sections. So putting all those actions together will create a nice riding experience for the guests.
Okay, and so you don't have exact numbers for speed or anything like that, but it sounds like you're launching with magnets and going around these turns. Sounds like it will be a relatively thrilling ride.
It'll be a fun thrill.
Okay.
It's not an aggressive thrill ride by any means. It's a fun thrill. Our minimum height requirement is 42 inches, or a Reese's height category for the viewers that are familiar with our candy brand heights. So 42 inches and up can ride, so it's a very family fun thrill ride.
Okay, so it's not going to be anything like Fahrenheit off in the distance here,
No,
which I chickened out. I mean, the ride luckily wasn't working the day I came, and I didn't have to ride it. Darn. So it won't be anything that intense.
No.
Okay.
It'll be a fun thrill.
Great. And can you tell us next a little bit about the Whitecap Racer?
Sure. So
Sort of walk this way to get a better look.
The Whitecap Racer is a mat racing ride, which is actually the largest matting race ride in the world, which is very exciting. So you'll start at the top, and you will lay on your belly on a mat and hold on to the handles, and you will slide head first through the flume. So there's multiple enclosed sections and open sections, which will create a very neat riding experience. And then when you get to the bottom, it will actually tell you your time. It'll tell you how fast you went, how long it took you to ride. It will also tell you what place you came in. So there's up to 6 riders racing at a time.
Okay.
So it'll actually tell you what your race time is. And we have some new and exciting things coming that will allow you to track your time against fast riders for the day, fast riders for the season. So you can try to get on a leaderboard that will allow you to compete, and will I don't know, it'll make me want to keep riding, because I'm a competitive person.
You want to improve your time.
Absolutely.
That's pretty cool. Any prizes for people who come up on
Just
top
bragging
of
rights.
Bragging rights.
Absolutely.
That's pretty
and
good.
Sometimes, when buddies are racing, sometimes that's all you need.
Yeah. All right, great. And both of these rides are expected to open on the Memorial Day weekend.
Absolutely.
Correct?
Yes,
All
that
right.
is correct.
And so springtime in the park, this construction will still be underway. Boardwalk will be closed off.
Correct.
Still. All right. Well, hey, thanks very much.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
hope to see everybody out.
Yeah, definitely. PennLive will certainly be back when the rides are open, so we can give you guys a look. I'm just going to give a quick walking tour of what I can see from here. As you can see, construction is very literally underway as we speak. I'm sure with the weather turning slightly nicer, they're going to try to take advantage of it as much as they can. And So we're here right next to the Lazy River, and there's the entrance to the Lazy River just over in this area. And the queues for these lines will be just about here. You'll wander over to this area where they will be queues for both rides, just where, right about where this backhoe is. I'm gonna try to get a further look back so you can kind of get the scale of what some of these rides look like. So it's just going to be just behind me. I almost fell. Always good to watch where you're going instead of looking at your phone while you're on a construction site. But let's take a quick look from further away. Here's some of the dips, the Breaker's Edge. And you can see the different colored pipes. There will be a total of 6 pipes for the Whitecap Racer for 6 people at a time to race. And just off in this direction, the spray ground, which is great for the little kids that happen to be coming to Hersheypark. That will still be functional. It's a lot of construction parts in this area, but I was assured that will still be intact. Nothing was removed to get these rides in. No rides were taken out. And they are repurposing the roller soaker building, which has been kind of vacant for a while now. So yeah, this is your first look of the upcoming rides coming to Hersheypark Memorial Day weekend, I believe May 26th. For more information on the rides and when Hersheypark will be opening, ticket prices, things like that, check out PennLive.com, and we will see you here this summer.